All right, welcome to our umpteenth episode of Tea York Politics, where we spill the tea on everything New York City politics, culture, art, music, debauchery, all the things. I am one of the co-hosts, Brian Allen, educational consultant, facilitator, published author, award-winning higher ed professional, and East Harlem resident.
Um, I'm Daquan Chung. I was the digital manager for Maya Wiley's 2021 mayoral campaign, and I was the digital manager for the city council and the speaker of the city council, Adrian Adams, who recently ran for mayor. I like that you said umpteenth episode because when you've been saying the numbers, I was like, is he gonna say the numbers every time?
I'm like, child, what episode is this?
It's only 5.
Really? It feels like we've been doing this for...
Yeah, but last time you were like, it's the 4th episode, and I was like, is he gonna say the number of the episodes every single time? I was like, this is not necessary.
The 11th episode.
I like we're only on episode 5 and you're already at, you don't know where we're at.
Hey.
Yeah. There's a lot going on this week.
It's been a full week. I feel like we say that every time we record because the state of the world.
Literally, I was thinking about it. I was running through the show and I was like, damn, there's a lot going on this week. And I was like, damn, we said that the last episode that there's...
Low-key, we need to edit just every episode when we say, it's a lot going on. I'm weary of the ways of the world.
That's literally the theme right now.
Yeah.
It's like, there's a lot going on.
Anything particular for you that like stands out?
You mean like politics-wise or just like...
Just generally.
No, well...
Anything you want to get off your chest?
Yeah.
What's going on?
I feel like, are you religious?
I'm spiritual. I'm not religious.
Do you know that I'm an atheist?
I didn't know that you were an atheist.
You said you didn't or you did?
I did.
You did. I'm a staunch atheist. And so...
Like God-hating or just non-believing?
I just don't believe in religion.
Okay.
I'm fine with like... I'm fine with whatever. I think people can believe whatever they want to believe.
Mhm.
I'm not trying to like police what people believe. Me personally, I don't believe in religion. I think it's very divisive. I think it's caused a lot of the world problems, I think are caused by religion.
Yeah.
And I think people specifically here in America, like they use religion to like back their bigotry.
Definitely.
So it's just like the core of the Bible, I think it has, good values in it. But the people who are like...
So is that actually atheism? Like, I feel like atheism is like the non-belief in
I don't believe...
higher power. You say you specifically don't believe in religion. So like, I feel like those are two different things. I also don't believe in religion. Like,
I also don't think there is like a higher being.
So both the institution and the deity.
Yeah.
Okay. I think, yeah.
So the other night I was out with my friend.
Okay.
And then he left and I was with his other friend that I met before.
Okay.
So we went back uptown and then we met up with his other friend and then we were walking from Boxers. What's Boxers on, like 127? We were walking back up to Lambda towards me.
Boxers?
Uptown? Oh, I'm sorry. 4 West.
I'm like, they open back up Washington Heights?
I wish.
No, they need to.
And so they talk about how they sing in a choir, yada, yada, yada. We randomly get on a conversation about religion.
Okay.
So I basically was just like, I'm an atheist. And then I just was like, I think religion is bullshit. And the guy was like, after I finished, he was like, I don't appreciate that you said religion is bullshit. Like, I feel like if we're having this conversation, you shouldn't use that language, yada, yada, yada. I was like, hold up, wait a second. I was like, this is what I don't like about religion. It's like religious people try to use their religion to dictate what other people do. Yeah. I was like, you're not going to tell me that I can't use certain language to talk about what I want to talk about. I'm going to use whatever language that I want to use to talk about however I want to talk about it. It's like, if you were to say, I think being an atheist is bullshit, I wouldn't have no problem with that. So how are you going to tell me you want to try to police the language that I use when I'm talking about how I feel about religion? Like, and I feel like people try to use their religion to dictate like other people and how they live their lives, and it's just like that's what I don't like about it.
Really, as opposed to like governing yourself and like the morals and values that you hold.
Yeah.
I don't know. I grew up in a very religious household. And I've gone through like a religious spiritual journey of like distancing myself from Christianity because of the fact that I do believe that the institution of religion of Christianity has oppressed, marginalized, othered so many people and really tried to like erase and sanitize the world of like the beauty of diversity and difference. And I think more recently I've kind of settled around like understanding that that is something that white folks have leveraged religion to do, and that doesn't necessarily mean that that is how I have to view it or practice it myself. And so like just because their God is like enslaving people and like ignoring the poor and like encouraging homelessness and all of these things, like that doesn't mean that whatever God I believe in has to be that for me as well.
Yeah.
But Black Christian gays are always gonna do the most. Like
I was about to say the other context to this story is that they were both Black gays from the South specifically, and I feel like people that come from the South, I feel like there's a deep like indoctrination is not the right word.
In some ways.
Like, of religion. And honestly, how I really feel about religion is like Christianity. I really think like Black people need to let that go. My view of it is that you think, just logically also how I feel about religion is like you think there's a higher being and it's just like, explain to me 200 something years of slavery. Explain to me the Holocaust. It was 400 years?
It was 4.
It was 400 years of slavery?
Yeah.
It just don't make no sense to me. And it's just like, logically, I just don't think there's some higher being in the sky somewhere pulling the strings. And if there is, I have a beef with them because it's just like 200 years of Black or 400 years of Black people suffering. Come on now.
I think it gets sticky for me. I agree around maybe, I don't know. I still believe in like certain Christian values, and I pick apart the Bible and stuff, and like I have found discrepancies in what it says and like what I believe. But ultimately, I think I have an issue with the fact that Christianity has encouraged or instilled a fear of African spiritual systems or practices and really demonized them. And so I'm like, if
I never even thought about that.
Oh, absolutely. Like the ways in which like we venerate our ancestors. Like at my house, like I don't know if you've seen it, but I have an altar with like all of my ancestors who have passed or folks who are elders that have since passed. And like, I pour water for them. Like I'll put a blunt on the altar for them. Like I'll do different things just like so that they still have like access. And I know that like they know I'm thinking of them and honor them in those ways. But I think a lot of Christians have believed that like that's devil worship or like that's demonic or we don't play with spirits, but they got a whole trinity and one of them is the Holy Spirit. Like, so it's just like, it's so exhausting to see that like the culture that we come from or are derived from, that practice is now just like has been violated.
Well, that was also, I feel like this is a larger conversation that I'm not going to go into, but that was also a part of part of slavery and the assimilation of like of stripping of us of our just like our background and just like our customs, our language, like bring us from Africa. But yeah, I see.
So this was actually going to be my rapid fire rant. But to your point around stripping Africans of their culture, like if you read the initial like journals of the researchers that left from Europe and went to Africa for the first time, like they literally wrote about like these African people are magical. Like they have a magical way of living and thinking. Like it's literally the terminology that they use. So I literally think that like these white people went and saw them like.
You think they stripped us of our magic?
I mean, in theory, yes, like not literally, but I think that like there was a way of living that we were like in community with one another in relationship to the universe and like the earth around us and animals, and like it was powerful, and they like had to do whatever they needed to do in order to like take that out of the equation for us.
Yeah.
So yeah, Black Christian gays, back to circle back because we're getting in a whole different direction. I really do think that like it's it's almost like pick-me-ish. Like, I'm not coming for the gays, but it's almost pick-me-ish, and like because my sexual orientation is deemed an what do they say? It's an
Abomination.
an abomination. I was gonna say an abolishment. Abolish the gays.
Abolish the gays.
Because my sexual orientation is considered to be an abomination, I am clinging on to every other tenet of this religion to practice it in good faith, to demonstrate that I am a good gay or I am a believing gay. You know what I mean? Like to set myself apart from the other gays who are just going to hell because they don't even believe in God. Sorry, you're going to hell.
I'm going to hell.
But honestly, that's my view of like.
I don't mind going to hell. My issue with it is that they say it's hot there, and you know that I have a really high internal body heat temperature.
I came in sweating.
And literally, like, being somewhere hot for eternity is literally like my number one nightmare. Like, because literally that night that I was with those gays. It was so fucking hot, and we went into the subway, and it felt like 120 degrees down there, and I had just taken my hair out, and it's just my hair is hot when it's hot right now. I just was fucking dripping in sweat. I was like, it's so disgusting down there, and I literally was telling my friend's friend that I went back uptown with. I was like, this is my literal hell.
I think honestly, we are in hell right now.
I have one more thing.
Okay. We're off the black gays.
I have a new job.
Okay. Congratulations.
I don't want people to congratulate me to work. Like, I don't.
Yay, labor.
I don't like working. I don't want to work. I think working is ghetto. People are like, I'm like, oh, I got a new job. They're like, congratulations. I'm like, don't congratulate me. Like, I don't want to work.
Get your ass up and go to work.
Nobody wants to work these days. Yes, me. So I'm doing the insurance, and I don't like, it's like you have a month once you start the job to like choose your insurance, and then you can't choose your insurance until the open enrollment period. Like, obviously, like, I think insurance in this country is a scam. Like, our healthcare system is horrible.
Yeah.
But this is just, I just think it's stupid. Like, I mean, I just think it's another stupid thing of our healthcare system. It's just like, if I need to change my healthcare options, I should just be able to do it whenever I need to do it.
Choose this option here.
Why do I have to wait a whole year for an open enrollment period if I need to like add a dependent or like...
You got dependents?
No, you know I don't got nobody.
Adopt me.
No, you adopt me. The Sugar Straits.
No, I get you. It's very confusing, and I think that it's designed that way to preclude folks from actively participating or having access to healthcare. Because, like, anybody that's got a new job, they're like, oh, I got these benefits, I can sign up, X, Y, and Z, and then you have the enrollment period, or you have certain other stipulations. Like, it just all feels like too game-oriented, and I think it's similar to like the financial industry or like investing or things like there are so many like loopholes and tricks to being like a successful person or to acquiring the American dream in the States.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, why can't everything just kind of be straightforward? Like, as a tourist, I don't take hints well. Like, I don't like to do like the extra work. Like, I just want things to be very straightforward. Tell me what it is, and I can move accordingly from there. But I got to pay off my credit card before the bill comes 7 days and 2 moons before, so that my credit history goes up. Like, there's so many like just dumb things that like. I have a friend that works in for a bank, and she's like, yeah, if you pay off your whatever, I don't know the actual things, but it's like if you pay it at a certain time before your bill actually comes up, then it's supposed to like look more favorable on your credit history than if you just pay your bill when it comes or when it's due.
I was about to say, oh man, I haven't been gassy this episode, and then I belched. Get
that together.
The other thing,
you still taking protein?
Yeah, that's why. But I started I went and brought a probiotic the other day.
Oh, me too.
I used to drink kombucha. That's what I call kombucha because I think it tastes like feet.
I hate that shit.
Because it gives you your probiotics. But I'm just like, I'd rather just take the probiotic pill. I wanted to say, I think this is back to the theme of maybe our whole season. Everybody get your exit plan and make sure your exit plan country has universal health care.
So I have been actively trying, speaking of, and I reached out to a third party to try to help me process my visa paperwork.
Hmm.
Guess how much they wanted to charge me?
$10,000.
$15,000.
To do what?
To handle all aspects of me leaving this country as an expatriate.
To go to Germany?
Spain.
Oh, you're every time I check in with you, it's like you
Listen,
going
I had
somewhere.
such a fun time in Berlin, but I don't think
Yeah.
you heard my stories. I don't think I could live in Berlin. Like,
Because it's too debaucherous.
yes.
So you're not. I mean, I feel like no matter where you go, if you're drinking, that you're gonna get into trouble.
Oh. Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna always have a good time wherever I am.
Which you think Spain or Germany has more black people?
Spain, because it's right above Africa. There are, I will say, Germany does have a lot of interracial family dynamics and biracial people. So
You know I'm against the biracials.
I know. We're gonna process through that self-hate. But they have a lot of like, my father is Senegalese and my mother is Austrian, like that kind of dynamic. So
That's fair.
I think Spain definitely has a lot more like African populations, or African population, probably primarily West or Northern African.
Mm.
But yeah.
I just looked in the monitor and I forgot to mention that I got my ears pierced. This is our first episode with my ears pierced.
And I think mine with my nose. But I
Oh,
don't think they can
yes.
see my nose.
Well,
Yeah.
Brian and I got my ears pierced and Brian got his nose pierced. Well, he got his nose re-pierced. But this is my first time having my ears pierced.
Did it hurt?
The first one didn't, but the second one I felt.
You probably were like preparing for the second one.
Yeah, maybe. But
And
when
it
I got my
tensed
nose,
up.
because I had my nose pierced multiple times.
Mhm.
You know the story. I got my nose pierced in the back alley in Vietnam.
And it got infected.
And
You
it got
almost fell
infected.
off.
And then it closed, I think like 2 or 3 times. I've
Oh
had
my
it
God.
like repairs multiple times. But the nose has never hurt.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just had a little teardrop. So she didn't actually have to re-pierce it. It was still open.
I
She just
remember
had
you
to
told
put the
me.
jewelry in.
Yeah.
And I still had like a single tear that fell.
But yeah, my ears are pierced
You
and
feel like a true butch queen?
I do. It's giving. Okay,
All right. So on today's episode, we are gonna go through the second iteration of niggas Harriet Tubman would have shot if she were alive today. And so today's list, last week we had an all-male lineup. And so this week I figured let's do all women.
spread the gender diversity.
I'm like, because niggas can get it. It's gender neutral. Harriet Tubman's shotgun.
So this is niggas at Harriet Tubman with a shot.
So the first person is Sexy Red.
Mm.
Sexy Red, very controversial rapper, artist. I use those terms very loosely.
Yeah.
But
Artist is very that's a loose one for her.
yeah. Sexy Red made it on the list because I don't know if you remember, but as Trump was campaigning, she had a concert and she had a free concert and she brought out a giant MAGA hat
Oh yeah.
for her concert, and she was like very like gung-ho, like I fuck with Trump, X, Y, and Z, get
Yeah.
this money. Aside from the Trump support, I genuinely just believe that Sexy Red is a CIA. She's a product of the CIA, has infiltrated the Black community
To destroy us.
to destroy us at any given point in time and possible opportunity. So I just genuinely am not a fan. The folks love some of her music. I don't
You know who
understand
loves
it.
Sexy Red?
Not Jakeem.
Henry.
No.
Yes, he's a Sexy Red stan. Henry is our executive producer.
I'm gonna have to talk to him after this. Are
you
you
have-
serious?
Yeah, he literally like loves Sexy Red. Did you ever watch the Boondocks?
Parts.
There's there's a lost episode that they have where there's it's the BET episode
Mhm.
and they're like BET is Black evil television and it's like they're using programming to destroy the Black community.
I fully believe it. I think Sexy Red is one of their prime operatives
Yeah.
in 2025.
I feel like her and Glorilla are in the same kind of. Well, Glorilla can actually rap.
Glorilla is a little bit more talented.
Yeah.
Glorilla is
Not
actually
a little
talented.
bit.
No,
She's a lot more. She can actually rap.
I agree. I
She's a lot more talented.
recant that
She
statement.
has
Glorilla is
talent.
actually talented. And
Yeah.
she can rap. But I don't think that she's necessarily. I think she's just a black girl that then
Yeah.
came up.
I feel like both they have like that southern female rap. I feel like they kind of in the same lane. Okay, quick, Glorilla or Sexy Red?
For what?
Like either or. They gotta pick one.
To save?
Yeah.
Glorilla, hands down. Glorilla loves Beyonce. Like,
Oh yeah,
so
I forgot she is a Beyonce
We
stan.
gotta keep our top operatives for the Beehive. So yeah, Sexy Red is first on today's episode of Niggas Harriet Tubman with a Shot. Next up, we have Omarosa. Deep sigh.
I'm conflicted about her.
Deep sigh. So in addition to being a part of Trump's first administration, before they had their little falling out, and then she wanted to rebrand and suddenly be a part of the Black community, which really I felt was rooted in her like trying to stick it to Trump and like gain some not clout but support around like her decrying like her problems that she had with him.
Also, she was fired from the White House.
She was fired.
So I think that also was just a bit of she was bitter about being fired.
Oh, bitter boots.
Yeah.
She needed somewhere to go.
But her
to
ass should
turn.
have never even fucking been there in the first place.
If she hadn't have been there in the first place. But she had always been up his ass, like when it came to Celebrity Apprentice, when it came to the election, like she was just so under his nutsack that like it just I just don't think that anything that she does moving forward could be redeemable to me.
My thing with Omarosa is that she's really educated and she's actually a great communicator. I think she has a comms degree. I forget.
I just wish she would use her powers for good and not for evil.
I think she's actually really, really smart.
I think she's very intelligent.
Talented woman. Yeah. I think she would have been a great White House press secretary. Like I think she just has great communication skills. You ever see that video of her and Wendy Williams?
Yes.
She eat everyone she ever gets into like
she eats them up. When she went on The View, she
literally
ate them up. I just wish that it was something positive for the Black community and not to. I think my issue with her is that she's very self-serving, and anything that she can do to get one leg up on anyone, she's gonna take advantage of that moment. And her aligning with Trump was her believing that she was going to have a favorable position in society and politics or whatever.
Yeah.
And she said, "Fuck the Black community." So,
and when you do that in life, you lose,
and you get shot by Harriet Tubman. And last on the list. I don't know. She needs to be high ranking on.
Yeah,
when we do these
brackets. For our bracket
when
at
we
the
do
end
these
of the season.
It might be Stacey Dash versus Clarence Thomas. But last on today's episode is Stacey Dash. Stacey Dash, 90s actress, probably maybe not before the 90s. I don't know when she came out.
Is she fully Black?
I don't know, actually.
She got like green eyes, right?
That don't mean nothing. But anyway, Stacey Dash, Black American actress. She's been in music videos with Kanye West. She's been on BET in a show that got canceled with Lisa Ray.
Oh,
and
yeah. That was really popular.
That was I used to tune into that regularly.
It.
That was like my gay awakening. I was like, who are these Black women?
What was Lisa, how to say her name?
Lisa Ray.
They had beef after that show had got canceled too, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
And Lisa Ray is like a hood Black.
Yeah,
she just like it is what it is. Like we can fight. Like, but yeah, Stacey Dash just very problematic. She's distanced herself from the Black community almost to the point of like, and to your point, asking if she's Black. I don't know if she has any like biracial heritage because like she basically states like I'm not Black. And
she says that she's not Black?
I don't know if she says she's not Black, but she very much moves like, I'm not that.
Yeah.
Y'all are this, I'm that.
Well, I feel like a lot of the niggas on this list move that way.
Oh, definitely. I think it's a lot of niggas in society that move that way. And we'll talk about putting a other category for a write-in category for niggas that Harriet Tubman with a shot brackets.
I think people who don't make our list, I think we should just open it up for people to write in.
Yeah.
And then we should put like a write-in slot, and we'll put all the write-ins from people in the comments, and we'll like pull one out, and there'll be like the what do you call it? Like the mystery,
Wild card.
yeah, the wild card on the bracket.
No, yeah, I agree.
Wait,
What else did Stacey Dash do? She featured it. I think this may have honestly been the start of her anti-black demise, but her star role in Clueless.
that was like the beginning of her career. That was the first thing I know her from.
And I think that planted the seed. Because she was this uppity, very like.
So from the start of her career, she was downhill.
I think so, and it just kind of snowballed into the Stacey Dash that we have to. Like, it looks like she's bleaching today. Like, she's like an adamant Republican. Like, that's where she like makes her like her most problematic statement. She's like, I'm a Republican. And not to say that Black people can have divergent thoughts around how the government should run or the role that the government should play, but like, when we're at a point where Republican means fascist, like, I think that we need to have some serious conversations about your like political allegiances.
Yeah. I don't. That's another conversation. But I just don't think like being Black and conservatism go together. Did you see that Amanda Seales thing? She's doing the Jubilee,
Yes.
and
And
then
Lord knows I cannot stand that woman. I've had interactions with her and my staff in person.
oh, you
that have-
met? Oh, I remember you told me you met her.
Yes. And although I don't see it for her, I see this for
Yeah,
her.
this is the perfect platform for her.
And honestly, and more recently, I'd say probably within the last 5 years, like my politics have shifted away from like my DEI work, like trying to encourage white people to get with the program around like inclusion and equity, and more so facilitating conversations and dialogue amongst Black people around how we can be more in alignment and synergy, and why equity within community is more important. Because I really don't care what they do out there. Like, it really matters to me what we do here. And so I'm really excited to see how these conversations play out, because it's like chef's kiss, like kind of my dissertation work.
Well, I brought it up because it was they make claims, and then I think how the show works is like they make claims in the beginning, and you have to
everybody
argue
has
against
to-
the claims.
yeah.
And one of her claims was that being Black right now and being Black and how the conservative party is right now, or like conservatism right now, don't mend. Excuse me, but I haven't watched the episode.
You're
But I
really
gotta go
gassy
back
over
and watch
there.
it. Well, honestly, that's only my third belch. I feel like last episode I was like 20 minutes in, I was like 10 belches in,
Come
and
on, so I
maybe
can
a
burp
fart.
you. Come on, so I can burp you.
One more thing about Stacey Dash.
Okay.
She's very beautiful. Nasty spirit though. Beautiful outside.
She's aging kind of like milk.
That's why I'm asking if she is got mixed with anything else.
I think anytime you're that anti-Black,
yeah.
it does not work for your
Because the
outside.
biracials that mix with white, when they start to get a bit older, they don't age well. My number one is Vanessa Williams.
Oh yeah.
Vanessa Williams, so stunned. Like when she was younger, so stunning. I mean, she's still beautiful, but now she's getting a little older. She not aging like how I think she would have aged if she was like 100%
Well,
Black.
I'm not gonna get into evaluating Black women's looks on the podcast. However,
Not however.
Stacey Dash is aging pretty poorly.
Yeah.
All right, so that's today's roundup of niggas that Harriet Tubman would have shot. Pew pew.
The pew pew just almost took me out. Okay, let's get into the news. I feel like we haven't talked about Mayor Adams in a while.
Are you kidding?
We haven't.
He stay under fire over here.
Maybe I just don't remember. I don't be remembering stuff.
I mean, it's good to forget about him.
Yeah. Okay, so basically,
I'll never forget that you smash or pass. You rated.
that I said I would smash Mayor Adams.
Yeah.
I would. Anyway. This week, Mayor Adams vetoed a set of bills that have been passed by the city council to increase the wages for grocery delivery workers. His claim is that
Vetoed?
yeah, so the council is the legislative body.
Yeah.
They pass the laws, and then kind of just like the presidency and Congress, the mayor has the power to veto legislation.
Mm-hmm.
But what's going to happen is this has a veto-proof majority. So I think what's going to happen is the council's they can override the veto if they have 2/3 votes.
Do we ever hear like his thoughts or opinions around like why?
Yeah, I'm about to explain to you.
Oh, cool.
If you would shut the fuck up.
Bitch, fuck you.
So basically, he was like, right now groceries are really high,
Mhm.
and he feels that this particular bill, which would increase the wages, I think to $21 for grocery delivery workers, will raise the cost of groceries for New Yorkers. But the back part to this story is that basically the grocery delivery service apps like Instacart, I think there's another one. They have been giving his campaign a lot of money.
Mhm.
To Cuomo as well during this past election, because they want this legislation killed. Because I guess like they don't want to have to pay their workers a fair wage.
Yeah.
And then there's also, I think they were also funneling a lot of money into certain city council races as well. So this is a money thing. I think it just goes back to big money in politics. Corporations feeling like they can buy politicians. And a lot of people just feel like him vetoing this bill just comes from like Instacart spending that money into his campaign, and
Mhm.
so he's paying them back. This is what they wanted, but it doesn't really matter because I think the city council is going to override the veto.
Yeah.
But I just think this. I mean, we're in the middle of an election, and which is happening in November, and he's running for mayor as an independent, and he wants to act like he's a champion for working class people, and I just think
Mhm.
this goes back to how I just say like this man is full of shit.
I
Um,
think he's honestly an idiot. Like,
no, he is dumb.
I
He's
think he's very
yeah,
unintelligent,
yeah.
and I mean, this is very typical of black men, but like doing one thing and saying another, like the actions don't match the words or like the declarations that he's been making. And this is like consistent across the board with like any legislation that he pushes or like decries.
I say this to people often. I was like, I don't fault Mayor Adams for being a bad mayor because I just think he is dumb and out of his depth.
Hmm.
And I think that the election he got elected in, like New Yorkers weren't paying attention. I think it was like 26% voter turnout.
This
Um,
was around the pandemic too, wasn't it?
yeah, it
Like,
was like
so people were spread thin.
the other
Like,
two people that came close to him, Maya Wiley, who I worked on that campaign, and
hmm.
Catherine Garcia was second, were two women who never held public office before.
Hmm.
So it's tough to never have run for public office and like run and get elected. It usually just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And so also he won by a couple thousand votes. I think
Okay.
it was like the last two people, it was like 51-49. He like
Mm-hmm.
beat Catherine got by 1 point in comparison to this primary where Zoran had a 12-point lead over Cuomo, who was
Hmm.
also a former governor of our state. So that's just
Hmm.
the comparison of like Mayor Adams barely won that primary. But I just say, yeah, I just think he's also I don't want to like he's dyslexic as well. I'm not saying that people with learning disabilities can't hold elected office.
I got ADHD. Can I be married?
No. But the man is dumb, and I don't fault him because I just like this is a tough job. I just think that the voters didn't vet him well. He wound up winning, and I just think he's out of his depth of this. He doesn't have the skills that he needs to have to do this job well.
I also think around that time, like DEI was very heavy and like thick in the atmosphere. And I think that folks were like trying to like give leadership opportunities to black men. And the community was looking for a voice. And he
Mm,
became that voice somehow. Like,
well, I don't really want to rehash this, but the main thing during that election, because I was working on it,
hmm,
was public safety. So
yeah,
he was a former
he
police
was an
officer.
officer.
Crime was sort of rising because of the pandemic, and
Yeah.
that was like the main issue. I also thought it was interesting this election where public safety wasn't really a big topic. I think the number one thing was affordability was on everybody's mind.
Yeah.
So I think it's interesting to see like what is voters. It seems like voters in elections are like one issue voters, and it just seems
Hmm.
interesting like what is that one issue at the time,
Hmm.
and the candidate that is like sort of running on that issue or has a background or policies that are pushing that issue sort of come out on top. But it really just be like wherever the wind is blowing, however
Yeah.
voters are feeling is sort of, what happens. And I wish voters would be less one issue voters because I think we need to do a better job of like picking a well rounded person. It's like you may really care about affordability or public safety right now,
Hmm.
but it's like you electing a mayor or a president or whoever, they got to deal with everything. So if you electing one person on one policy and all their other policies don't align with, making the city or whatever better, and they're not good on that part or they don't have the skills to do that job, then kind of just like how we are in the situation with the president. It's like people want to claim that affordability was their main thing coming to the election, which I think that's bullshit in terms of like, I don't think Trump had any policies to like fix any of this stuff.
Yeah,
But it's like, now he fucking everything else up, and it's just like, and your eggs are still going up. So it's just like, maybe he wasn't the best choice. Well, he wasn't. But we gotta do a better job of like evaluating these people and like their skills to do these positions.
I blame TikTok. Shout out to all our TikTok viewers and subscribers. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like the people said fuck public safety. They're like, if I can't afford to live here,
Literally.
I don't care about safety.
Okay, this is a big thing happening right now, but basically Texas had threatened to redraw their district so that they could get an extra maybe like 5 congressional seats because they want to hold on to their majority next year in the midterm elections.
It's so ghetto here.
Yeah. So California Governor Newsom had, I think yesterday, the California legislator had released their maps. They're gonna hold a special election in California to have the voters vote on the new maps they release that will take away Republican seats. They're gonna gerrymander California because right now California has an independent commission that draws their districts.
Is this reverse gerrymandering?
No, it's gerrymandering. It's not reverse. They're gerrymandering. They're actual gerrymandering. And so basically, Governor Hochul said that she's also going to consider doing this in New York.
She do not be playing.
People are like really iffy about Kathy, but I like some of the tweets. So people are like, Kathy is really stepping up. They're like, do I have to start staying in Kathy? They're like, oh, I'm gonna have to vote for her.
She be like, we're at war.
Literally, she's literally.
No, she really said we're at war.
Yeah. But yeah, I think also some of the Republicans in the New York congressional delegation just fucking suck. Like Nicole Matakalakis. And what's the other girl? Elise Stefanik.
Okay.
But yeah, I would love to see their seats get eliminated. I think that party needs to go away. And so I think we need to have a strategy to actually eliminate the Republican Party. Okay. I think they're a threat to democracy. I just think if we stay in this system, I think the system eventually, I was talking to Jakeem about this, my roommate. I think in the next 5 years, like our country is, our government system is going to be dismantled anyway. But
I agree.
Yeah, we can't function in this 2-party system.
I don't think that the Democratic or Republican Party should exist. I would argue. I think there's just too much history around like.
I disagree. I think we can't have a 2-party system where one party does not believe in democracy. So if we're gonna keep a 2-party system, one of the parties cannot be trying to dismantle the government.
I genuinely feel like neither party truly embodies
there's a lot of
vision of democracy.
I think there's a lot of disdain for the Democratic Party, and I think a lot of it is unwarranted, and that is a separate conversation. And I get where you're coming from, but it's just like, let's not both parties, they're not the same.
I didn't say that they were the same. I just don't think that either of them are sufficient.
I think if you put our Democratic Party and any other country's functioning government that have multi-party systems, they would be a viable party in those systems, and people would vote for them.
Those other countries don't have
the Democratic
Black
Party,
American populations.
I feel like you may not feel that they're serving voters in America because they can't serve voters within how our structure functions, because they're literally, the opposing party doesn't want them to get anything done, and they're literally trying to dismantle our democracy and our government. So of course they're going to have a hard time functioning in a system where the opposing party doesn't want them to do anything. So I think that context is really important. I just think people give the Democratic Party a lot of shit, and it's just like, y'all don't put things into context, and that is kind of like bothers me. I'm not trying to defend them because I don't want to seem like a Democratic Party shell, because that's not what I want to do, but it's just like, y'all need to understand how things function, because it's a lot of conversations, and y'all just don't understand how shit works, and y'all just want to make these general assumptions and these statements, and you don't put any context to it.
So I do think context matters, and I actually do understand the context in terms of the parties being opposing and there being ebbs and flows in who has power and who has decision-making ability, and the effort that goes into preventing whoever is in power from achieving their aims. However, looking at this current administration and the ways in which Republicans are railroading all of their legislation policy and whatever they want to push out of Project 25, it doesn't seem as though that level of effort that the Republicans place against the Democrats is equal or equitable to the effort that Democrats should be pushing against the Republicans. And so, like, whether they believe in democracy or not, I don't think that that matters to me. I think it's in, like, again, how are they serving the people as
So you're
elected
arguing
officials?
about how they're functioning right now in terms of fighting as a party, but you made this statement about you don't think they function as a party in terms of like upholding democracy. And I think in terms of like the policies that they put forward, which they can't pass because Republicans filibuster everything in the Senate, they want to expand like the rights and protect and expand our democracy, but they can't get those things done. So it's just like
I just feel like, again, to our earlier point,
you're upset with how you just feel like they're not fighting hard enough to defend and get things done. That's a fair thing, but the context, you're not putting it into context of like the situation of like how all this stuff is functioning.
I just said that I do and understand.
Yeah, but what you said doesn't.
I said what I said, and what I'm saying is, after, like you said earlier, 400 years of slavery, the Democratic Party has done hardly anything for Black Americans in this country.
Let's move on, because I'm not trying to sit here and
next
and to have to defend the Democratic Party.
Exactly.
Because I don't want to be. I'm not a Democratic Party
Democratic spokesperson.
No, I'm not. I'm not trying to defend them. I don't even want to. I'm gonna cut this out of the.
Go Green Party.
No, fuck them too. And fuck Jill Stein.
No, where does she be at?
She be in her crypt.
I haven't seen her since election night.
She only pop out every 4 years to fuck things up for people, and you know that's what it is. What's next? Yo, I just spit.
We said we was gonna fight today.
And we will. Honestly, I felt that was very confrontational.
We should fight.
I feel like that's the most. I mean, it's only episode 5, but I feel like that's the most confrontational we've been.
I agree
On this episode. Let's
keep that going.
Yeah, let's keep it going. Basically, Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, he's still declining to endorse Zohran Mamdani, who is the Democratic nominee. I just think this is dumb. Also, in part, just because like Zohran won.
Right.
Hakeem Jeffries' district by double digits.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is bad politics because
for sure,
if Hakeem Jeffries gets a formidable primary opponent and it's like Zohran's gonna win, he's gonna be the mayor.
Yeah.
So it's like he's also very popular.
Mm-hmm.
When he becomes the mayor, maybe his first year, he's probably gonna be very popular mayor.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna have a tough time being the mayor, just like in the political situation we're in the country.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's gonna be popular at least for his first year. And so if Zohran was to like endorse someone who ran against Hakeem Jeffries, like Jeffries could be in a tough position. I just don't understand why he's like declining to endorse him. He won the nomination by like 12 something points. Just like even if you don't like him, I think they had one meeting. Maybe your politics don't align. It doesn't like he's the nominee. Just like fucking endorse him and just like move on.
And just
like this conversation is like
yeah.
Also, people want someone to primary. I think people are really over Hakeem Jeffries. I met him. He seems like a nice person, though.
Beautiful gowns.
Yeah. Also, this is a random story. When we were on the campaign for Maya, we bumped into Hakeem's mom.
Okay.
And just like outside a subway, and she was like, "I'm voting for you, Maya." And we were like, we didn't know that was his mother, and then we like found out after, and they were like, "Oh, that's Hakeem's mom." But yeah, nice, cute old little black lady.
I'm crying.
Okay. Andrew Cuomo, who is an independent, he's running independent now for mayor. He literally boom again.
Oh, this bitch just died.
you know from A Different World.
Oh,
I just died.
I was thinking about a scary movie when they were running from the bones.
No, Diane Carroll in A Different World, where she played Whitley's mother during the the wedding scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, when Dwayne comes back and she's like, die, just die. Anyway, Andrew Cuomo was criticizing Zohran for having a 1-bedroom rent stabilized apartment. I think his rent is like $2,000 something a month.
Like 26 or 23
Yeah,
or something
he
like that.
lives with his new wife.
He says they make like 200,000.
Yeah, they
at
may
least.
probably together. And he criticized him. He wants him to give his 1-bedroom apartment up.
To who?
To homeless people.
To me.
But he put out this policy where he wants to means test for rent stabilized apartments at basically, I think it was like 200,000. So if you make like over $200,000 or like 30% of your income, then you wouldn't qualify to get a rent stabilized apartment.
Where do Cuomo live?
He wasn't living in New York City until he came back and ran for mayor, and he kicked his
daughter out of her apartment, right?
Out of her apartment. Then her apartment that's his apartment. He owns it, but it's $8,000 a month rent. I mean, the man is rich, and he's a political nepo baby. But the housing advocates are basically like, this idea is stupid. Is gonna be difficult to do. And I just think it shows just how out of touch he is with the reality of just like how unaffordable the city is, and even just like people of what you would consider a higher income are still struggling. Like if you make $100,000 a year and your rent is $2,000, like I have friends who are like $90,000, their rent is like $1,800, and they're telling me like they got $70 left over at the end of the month after they pay their bills, and it's just like you have white collar, blue collar, like people with like really good jobs that paying them high salaries, and they still can't afford to live in the city. And it just shows that like you have a disconnect to like where the voters are, which is why you lost the fucking election, and you should just go away.
Yeah. Even like the housing lottery, like Housing Connect.
Yeah.
I get the emails of like there's a new residence going up. Like
and it'd be like your income need to be like $150,000 to $2,000.
And that'd be the minimum for a studio. I'm like, what the fuck is this about? So yeah, he's out of touch. And also like the fact that he lives where he lives, did what he did to have the address that he has, and is coming for Mamdani about his residence. Like, it's just dumb all around. And it's bad politics.
And we hate him, and he should go.
And we hate him.
Can you take the next one?
Yeah. So 45, 47. Pumpkinhead. Bad weave.
Bad Bill.
Bitch body.
Cheeto face bitch.
Had deployed the National Guard in Washington, D.C., the United States Capitol. Essentially, he removed the what's it called? Not the board, but like the sergeant, whatever.
Oh yeah.
From their role, and have put someone in place in order to basically vigilantize or to surveil.
I think
streets.
the courts just said that
they literally, I think it was like today or yesterday, said that he can't do that. They sued and he backed off. He backed down.
Yeah.
But initially, he had the National Guard, military, and DC police working together to essentially fight crime in the streets. And I don't know if you've seen this video that was circulating on Twitter, but it was a group of guys that were like
smoking outside?
Smoking outside their apartment, just chilling on their back porch. And the fucking National Guard walks up and is trying to be so like PC and cool about the situation, but comes across as just like being very uninformed and ignorant about the law. Like he asked the dude that was smoking the cigarette for his ID, and the dude's like, I don't got no ID on me. And he's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like it just wasn't making any sense, and it didn't seem like the people that he was sending to do his bidding didn't know why they were there in the first place either, because technically it is legal to smoke in your residence on your property in DC, and like at least in that example, what they were doing wasn't breaking any laws. And even like the White House Twitter account has started posting the pictures
I don't
of
follow
people
them.
that were,
No
I don't
more.
either, but I've been seeing reposts, and they were posting pictures of the Black people who were being arrested during this wave. And I'm like, that does so much damage to the optics
Yeah.
of the Black community in DC and the ways in which other people interact, engage, and view
Well,
them in that community.
the issue with this is, well, particularly DC, that's a majority Black city, so
Yeah.
that's one of the issues. And then the cities that he mentioned when he announced this are, I don't know if you realize, but the majority
LA,
of
DC, New
all
York.
all have Black mayors.
Yeah.
And
Baltimore,
so
I think he said too.
yeah, Baltimore has a Black mayor as well.
And their crime is down. Like,
Yeah.
he's done so much to like drive their crime down since he's been elected.
And so this is very authoritarian, obviously. But I think it's also like good to note that it's just like he's also attacking cities that, like, one, statistically, like, crime is down in those places, and then also is like those cities are run by Black people
Mm-hmm.
and people of color.
But even I watched a video the other day, and they were basically comparing Trump, which isn't the first person to say this or to be true, but to Hitler and his process
We've
of
been comparing him to Hitler.
taking power in Germany, and it literally came from the language of cleansing the streets and cleaning up the country. And this is literally what Trump has been doing. Like, we need to get the bad guys off of the streets. We need to clean up the White House or the area of Pennsylvania Avenue. Like,
Everybody get your exit plan together. It's time to go.
This is a hard sidebar. This is a hard sidebar.
Where you going?
But you know, them aliens is on their way.
Where is this coming from?
What if the extraterrestrials are traveling across the galaxies
Well, they need to hurry the fuck up.
just to take out Trump for us? I really, really hope that is the case.
They
Like,
need to hurry up.
I need them to do their big one.
Somebody needs to come and get me because this planet is
To
ghetto.
get you?
Yes, to get me. The planet is ghetto and I want
Fair.
off of it.
Fair. Beat me up, Scotty.
Literally now. Okay, so we're wrapping up.
What?
But this is the dumbest shit I've seen on the internet. Basically, Bernie Sanders said in an interview that Vice President Kamala Harris' campaign failed to champion a strong working class agenda. I'm just quite frankly over this old white man. Even my issues with him is, I don't want to say this as a blanket statement, but I don't think Bernie Sanders likes or cares about Black people.
No.
I think that was an issue in his campaign, is that's why he couldn't get the nomination, is because he couldn't court Black voters. I honestly don't think he gives a fuck about Black people. Say what you want about the campaign. You know, she again, context. She had 107 days. I think that should also be the context. But to say she didn't have a working class agenda is a lie.
It's just not true.
Yeah, it's not true. And so he need to watch his mouth. Also, Kamala is my bitch. And it's just like,
you better watch them B words. That's my girl.
I only work for Black women electeds. That's been my sort of spot in politics. So it's just
You
like,
should run.
I'm not a Black woman. And so I just, like, from being on the inside, like working in campaigns, working for a Black woman elected official, like, it's very difficult for them. And it's just like, so I got a soft spot for Kamala. So I just think Bernie need to watch his mouth.
No, that's very true. And speaking of Jewish folks, my dumbest shit that I've ever seen, or that I saw on the internet this week, Columbia, I believe, Brown, and maybe one other.
Harvard?
I don't think it's Harvard.
Penn.
It's Penn. In agreement with Trump's demands for retaining some of their grant funding, have agreed to dismantle all DEI programs except for those dedicated to their Jewish population.
I did see that. Oof.
I can't even begin to like articulate the ways in which this is just so ignorant.
Okay, well, do it in 1 minute.
Because it's fucked up. And how the fuck are they gonna say that? It's just really frustrating because I've worked at several institutions in New York City, Columbia being one of them, and knowing the access that is provided to underrepresented students who are not Jewish, that would not be at that institution if it wasn't for those programs. The campus is going to suffer greatly from the lack of diversity that is present in these schools. And so, yeah, I think that this is not going to stifle or prevent anti-Semitism from occurring. Not saying that any of the actions that have taken place on these institutions in terms of addressing Zionism, that they have been anti-Semitic, but I think that primarily creating privilege for Jewish students is only going to push things into the realm of anti-Semitism.
That's fair. Yeah. This
It's scary times we're living
a lot
in.
going on. I literally was about to be like, there's a lot going on.
I'm weary.
Our podcast should have been named "There's a Lot Going On."
It's a lot going on. We can rebrand. We're not too far into rebrand.
We might need to. Anyway, that was our episode. As we said, there's a lot going on. Don't forget to like, subscribe, tell your friends. Tell your
subscribe
sugar
on YouTube. Yes. Subscribe on TikTok. Subscribe on Spotify.
Yeah.
Something that Cardi B can't get streams on.
You like the new song?
No. No.
Okay, well, that's our episode. Everyone like, subscribe, comment, do your things. We trying to get it back.
Bye, y'all.